In fact, I get bored when it's the same discrimination. When they're like, oh, I'm like, I'm 35, guys. I've answered this question 1,000 times. Discrimination happened all the time. I mean, growing up in a Chinese school, you were one of the few non-Chinese kids, so people look at you like, what's wrong with your face?
The boys in primary 1 did not become friends with him because of his curly hair and his long lashes and big eyes. Can you see over here? He's so shy over here compared to the other boys. And the thing is, like, because of that, he told me I want to cut all my curls. And one time I saw him trying to cut his eyelashes. Really, he tried to cut his eyelashes in the mirror and I just caught him. But as he's older, he refused to keep his curly hair. He chopped it all off. You see, he never wanted his curly hair.
So it's basically a misunderstanding. It's a misconception where you assume someone is like this, you know. If you ask anybody about an Indian person, they think, oh, you know, they wear a turban, they eat curry, you know, they do yoga. I'm like, really? That's not what we all do. It's like, it's a weird twist because when you think about the whole concept that everyone, let's say, does yoga, it's like, come on. Does everyone in Hong Kong do Kung Fu? No, right? My family, my grandfather, my father moved to Hong Kong for business. We grew up in Hong Kong. We went to a local Chinese school because my mom and my dad kind of felt that it was very important that we learn the local language.
When he was little, I used to worry. He could not speak Cantonese. And when I used to go to the school, and because the teacher called me once or twice, and they were worried because this boy would not say a word in class. I want them to learn the local language because it'll only make life easier for them to be able to get along in the place that they're going to be living. He tried really hard in his childhood to pick up the language. It's taken him places now.
所以我就成日話呢個就係個 key point，就係風格係價值最高嘅。你有你自己 style 咧，啲人係嚟聽你嘅 style 嘅笑話，唔係淨係聽笑話咁簡單。Alright， 所以正如話啲人嚟睇我哋啲 shows 咧，佢哋唔係純粹話聽下笑嗰處，佢都話懂笑啦，佢都話懂笑，做咩睇你咧？係咪？因為我哋係做成個 style 出嚟咯。你想下一位係邊位啊？哦，好，到你，耶！呢條我 send 翻你媽咪嚟。So with the workshops, the idea is not to teach you how to write a joke. A lot of the workshop actually talks about understanding why we laugh about stuff and also what's your style. I'm very adamant about you being your own style rather than you writing a joke. But the idea is that you can only you can write your joke. So basically in around 2006, I think, I was diagnosed with stage 2 lymphoma cancer. So basically there were 2 areas of my body that had lymphoma. So one on the neck and one in the chest. I was like, okay, cool, I'm dead. I'm dying now, right? From the initial checking and stuff like that, down to the chemotherapy, down to the recovery and all that stuff, around 6 months' time.
This happened to him as soon as he finished his university, and he just graduated, and that was the time when he was diagnosed with it. I think that was the time when he gave up, actually, and when he was diagnosed, because he thought that was the end of life, and he literally gave up. But then after that, I think he has come out of it, and that has actually been his turning point, where he's become very, very positive about everything. When I went to the hospital with him to pick him up after the chemotherapy, the nurses told me, do you know your son makes jokes over here as well?
Also kind of made me realize that, you know, you'll never be ready for anything. So that kind of also taught me that, you know, when the opportunity for comedy happened, most people say, oh, you know what, maybe let me think about it. I was like, no, I'll never be ready. 咁我有興趣問啦。咁嗱，當一個問一個人，佢話啊，你有咩興趣？10個有7個都話瞓覺㗎啦。
呢度有自由的士。係啊，好啦，好啦，睇呢架轉入嚟係咪啦
？Hey, sorry. Oh my goodness, man. Yeah, so I'm thinking like basically more of the aspects of like, because you're saying interview and like kind of looking inwards kind of an idea. So it's more like just my way of saying that I'm not going to make it boring like, comedy sucks, guys, But like I'll joke about how like in all this good stuff, there's also like the challenge of, how to maintain it. When I first hear the word TEDx, it's always inspiration. I mean, someone's gonna say something to make you go, oh, yeah, you're right, right? And also, it's more like opening your mind. So that's it, TEDx is basically opening your mind and receiving the inspiration. That's what I think of. Anybody who knows me is like, dude, just calm down, dude. Take a day off. I'm like, that sort of thing. Because also, like, I enjoy what I do. So it's like, I don't need to feel like I need a holiday and stop doing this. I'm like, I want to do this. I want to get it done.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, man. My pleasure, man. Cool. 啱。係兩個同學，係得。Thank you。好啦，上車先。
你真係喺度啊？點咩？
我頭先因為我有第二個訪問嗰啲嘢。We put it all together. We had like our own shows and stuff like that.
Start planning.
Yeah. Now, that's why. Yeah. So that's why like now when I go to Australia, we're gonna all sit down together and like discuss.
You just look a bit casual and I'm very formal. So
I know. Well, you said smart casual, so I was like, okay, smart casual. But we have a gown, so no one will know anyway.
Yeah.
How are you? Lovely to meet you. Oh, my pleasure. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
佢唔識講中文，佢識啦，係搞錯啊！
講中文添。OK。
All our cultural exchange activities.
But I want to say something, tonight I'm hoping to share with you a few funny stories and also let you get an insight of, why I am where I am, as in like, why do I do comedy? Why do I talk about these things? What is the point and how to be a funny minority? Throughout my whole life, people will see me and they get confused because when I travel the world, I always tell the MC or whoever to say, all right, please, from Hong Kong, Vivek Mabubani, right? And when I come out, everyone will say, he doesn't look like he's from Hong Kong. I've never seen a Chinese person that looks like this, Or some people might say, oh, I did not know. Hong Kong is in the Middle East. Now, I know what I look like, and I always joke about that. Now, my face looks like the default face everyone thinks when they think of a terrorist, and I know that. However, I want you to be fully aware that I love the fact that people assume I'm a terrorist all the time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There's this formula called comedy is equal to tragedy plus time. So now, instead of me looking for a great day, I want to look for that day with the tragedy, something weird. If my day doesn't go well, it's a good thing because now I have something I could play with. I could make a joke out of it.
Vivek Mabubani!
How comedy began for me is like when I was growing up, I loved stand-up comedy. I loved watching it, and just one day I told myself, you know what, before I die, I want to try comedy. So In 2007, I saw an ad in the newspaper that said comedy competition, and I was like, this is it. This is my chance. Let's do it. From an interest to a hobby to a semi-profession to a full-time job.
Big occasion for me. I can't believe I'm still here. So as a comedian, I find it's very strange because this kind of a career, people have a lot of assumptions. They always think like, oh, you're either always funny or they can't take me seriously. Which means if, let's say, one day I get stabbed on the streets, right? I'm dying, I'm bleeding. I go to the hospital, I walk in, people are like, is it Halloween? Is it April Fool's? And I'm like, it's an emergency, guys.
This is in 2007, right? 2007, and it says 10年後退休, which is what I was saying when I turned 35, I want to retire. So that's when they asked me, and I was like, when I'm 35 or something, or yeah, I was like, now I'm 25 years old, so in 10 years later I want to retire. So this was the article they asked me when I was still in School of Creative Media. So I did a show called 香港故事, and I was the host for season 8. So for one of the episodes, they wanted me to go to Causeway Bay to give out lychee packets. So on this lychee packet, I think it was the Year of the Cow or something, I can't remember now, but you see at the back, there's me as a cartoon character. So this will blow your mind. So I went to a school to give a talk, and some student drew like this picture of me as like a thank you thing or whatever. Yeah, so there's that as well. 唔係，我係諗住整嗰個 video 就係一個做 show 之前，其實大家點樣準備嗰啲嘢，但係就唔係好 typical 嗰啲點樣去 warm up 啊乜嗰啲咧。但係即係有冇睇過以前 Rambo 啊，或者佢會咁樣做嘅，即係好似着衫咁啫嘛。但係 of course 冇咁型啦，好明嗰啲。做啊呢個？唔係，即係好簡單，因為總之係影啲 close up shot 就喺度綁鞋帶啊，跟住可能睇一睇抄一抄啲 notes 啊，跟住 take 呢個啊唔要嗰個，即係見到個 set list 咁啊查呢個啊 good 啊嗰啲嘢咧，跟住可能寫一個就 be funny， 可能我哋塊鏡嗰度 be funny 咁咧就 boom。The goal really is to build a culture. Like it would be so good to see comedy as a culture in Hong Kong. Now the challenges now for me are not so much about financial or like whether or not I get the show. It's more like what else? How can I build a scene? How can I build a market out of it? How can I actually make it a culture? Alright， 多謝大家啦！我哋一陣咧會喺出邊可以同大家傾偈啊、影相乜都得㗎啦。不過喺呢時候咧，我哋遲啲見 ，Have a good night，take it easy，take it easy，The whole culture is so new for so many people. They don't know, they don't understand the conversion of how can this be practical. So convincing people to come to watch a live show, to try it out, stuff like that is a challenge now. And hopefully in a few years' time, this will be a common thing. That's why we're so adamant on having, let's say, comedy festivals, on having open mic nights, having workshops, basically just letting people get exposed to the show. My name is Vivek. I've been called Wee Wet. I've been called Vicky, Victor. I've been called Victoria. My name is Vivek, but for 1 year, roll call, my teacher saw my name, looked at my face, and he said, John. 阿 Sir 唔使驚，我識講中文嘅。